Hello and welcome to Motors for the Masses, and today we have a 125 adventure bike, new and improved. So let's roll the intro and get cracking.
I've been a real bad boy on the town all night. Starting to calm down with the morning light down in the dirt.
A few years ago, Sinnis brought a bike into the world for those wanting a 125, but also some adventuring. The bike was well received, but at 11 brake horsepower was a bit underpowered and just a little bit slow. Well, Sinnis and Euro 5-idness have brought the bike into the future, which is now the present, with this, the Euro 5 liquid-cooled version. It has 12.7 brake horsepower and 7.8 pounds-foot of torque. Let's take a closer look. This is a welcome change from air-cooled to liquid-cooled. However, Sinnis have said that they're only allowed to advertise the bike does 60 miles an hour. But I think we all know it'll do slightly more than that. Another good change is that instead of a 5-speed box, you now get a 6-speed box. Another big change as far as the engine's concerned is that where it had 2 valves, it now has 4. So you get better airflow and slightly more power, but also with a balance shaft means you get a much smoother engine as well. Other than that, the bike is pretty much the same. You still get a Delphi EFI system, you still get the 17-inch cast wheels with a 100 front tyre and a 120 rear, you still get the same sort of style bodywork, you still get a steel frame, you still get the same dash, the same handlebars, the same switch gears almost, but now you don't have a light switch because there's no option to turn the lights off at all. But again, that's Euro 5-idness. It still comes with the upside down forks and the rear monoshock, but you do get a slightly different brake disc, but it's still combined. However, where you used to have that fake grille, you've now got an actual grille because there's a radiator there, look, with a bottle and everything. Dimensions are the same at 2.1 meters long, 870 millimeters wide and 1.2 meters tall, and the seat height is a very manageable 780 millimeters. Now I am 5'10.5" with a 31-inch inside leg and feet flat on the floor, knees slightly bent. Now despite the bike's big stature, it still feels small but quite large, if that makes sense. One downside for me is that the bike still comes with lunch boxes. The side panniers aren't too bad, but this top box is only 24 litres. Now, it's not too bad because you can get your foot long in there and a packet of Pringles and a 600mm drink and an apple and a curly whirly, some spare underwear in case you need it on the journey, and your Thor socks, and of course Thor's hammer, and close the lid. So if you want to carry that, that's great. If you want to put a helmet in it, not a chance. However, there is a 48-litre upgrade option at £85. Now, before we take this bike out on the road, I want you to bear in mind that it is £300 more than the Euro 4 air-cooled version at £2,999 on the road, with a 2-year parts warranty, a 1-year labour warranty and 12 months breakdown cover. They have made it more aesthetically pleasing with these sticker designs, but I want to see what that extra £300 actually gets you in the real world. So let's go and find out. So it pulls away fine, no problems at all. Okay, bearing in mind it's a 125, so it's not a lightning rod. Thank you very much. The gearing is very close together. I'm going to close my visor so it might be a bit darker now. Darker? Quieter. So yes, I'm now in 6th gear at 30 miles an hour or 34 miles an hour, 5,000 RPM. So it does rev quite high and the gears are quite close together. But I am going to mention it, it is a smooth gear change. I'm not going to say it again. Handling, very simple. Very easy. Bearing in mind we're on new tyres, handling is great, balance is good. Obviously I can't take it too fast because it's just running in. It's comfortable. I'm not being blown around, and it is a windy day. Bear in mind I've got all the boxes on, but I'm not being blown around at all. Seat's very nice, very forgiving. The reach to the handlebars is absolutely perfect, to be honest. I think I am getting quite good wind deflection from here. And the mirrors I can see out of really well. I can see a tiny bit of arm, but they are actually positioned pretty well and I can see quite a bit. So I'm quite surprised and pleased by that. The suspension is nice and soft, no worries at all. Right, let's take it off-road and see what it's like there. Well, sort of off-road. I have to say, that was with the clutch out in 1st gear on idle, just to see how the balance felt and how it fared by itself without any assistance from me. And that fared fantastically. I was really pleased, bearing in mind it's quite bumpy up there, on how well that managed the road, and it idled really sweetly without worrying about it cutting out or any dramas whatsoever. That's actually quite pleasantly surprising. Despite it being 162 kilos, it doesn't feel very heavy. It's very light, very easy to flick around. You know, I can stand up without any dramas, no problems whatsoever. Pleasant to ride actually. As a 125, it's nice. Perhaps the gearing could be a bit longer so you can get a bit more in each gear. But I guess that's down to fuel saving and Europe. Now, this is not a particularly smooth road, it's quite a bumpy road, but it absorbs it really nicely. You can come to this corner here and see how it takes the corner. Lovely. No problem. It's a very easy bike to ride. Anyone who's starting out worried about seat height, you need to put it in 7th there because it's quite short gears, look. So yeah, anyone who's trying to start out on a bike and wants an adventure style bike and is not particularly tall, this is absolutely perfect. I would say, bearing in mind to say I'm 5'10½", it fits me fine. Anyone who would be 6 foot and over may find a little bit of a struggle as far as the knees are concerned, but don't get me wrong, you've got plenty of room for your knees. Now if my legs were, let's say, a foot taller, which is never going to be, there'd be forward and up here, and I've still got plenty of room, look. What I also like on here is, look, if you push and hold this button here, the dash changes to orange. Is it that one? Maybe it's that one. There you go, orange or blue. And on that note, that brings us to the end of this episode of Motors for the Masses. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll be back next time with more bikes, more cars, and of course my upcoming track day, so footage from that, and then of course our 3-day trip. So until next time, please ride and drive carefully, but have fun. Bye bye.